All right, Seton, got a poll question for us before we dive into a couple of things here?
I'm going to actually throw it over to Paul. I believe he's got a poll question he's very excited about.
Okay.
It's about Hopkins, but should I save it?
Okay. Well, let me dive into the story a little bit because normally in the offseason, whenever you hear a wide receiver's name mentioned, it's because they got a new contract or they got traded or both. But yesterday, DeAndre Hopkins was in the news and it had nothing to do with the contract and nothing to do with the trade. He'll be forced to miss Arizona's first 6 games. He violated the NFL's drug policy, still able to play in a majority of the games. But you have to look at this if you're Arizona. You're trying to have Kyler Murray stay in the fold. You picked up his 5th-year option. You traded for Hollywood Brown, his former college teammate. And now you have DeAndre Hopkins, who is not going to be able to play. And you play in a very competitive NFC West, where you already have San Francisco as a good team and Rams are the defending champs. Murray's QBR dropped 16 points without Hopkins on the field last season. The Cardinals averaged 11 points less per game when Hopkins wasn't playing in the final 5 games. I'm guessing Arizona saw this coming. That's why they added Hollywood Brown last Thursday. But that's a tough division, and the loss of Hopkins could put the Cards at a huge disadvantage to start the season. And I start to think about these things. You know, in the NFL, it's rare when a star gets popped. Rodney Harrison, who's a Hall of Fame caliber player, tested positive. Antonio Gates, who's going to the Hall of Fame. Trying to think who else. Julius Peppers, his 2nd year in the league, and he's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. And, you know, there are varying degrees of what they test positive for. I don't know what DeAndre Hopkins tested positive for, but these guys spend a lot of money on their health, their well-being, their care. They have people that they hire to help them. I'm assuming DeAndre Hopkins has that person or those people. Well, do you just take something randomly? Is this something different? Was he taking something coming back from injury? As a former player has told me and reminded me, you know the reason why we take performance-enhancing drugs? Because they enhance your performance. That's why. I don't know if DeAndre Hopkins, this was a one-off here, and maybe tested positive for something that doesn't really impact coming back from an injury, or it's truly performance-enhancing. But I just want to know, how did you get it? What happened? Did you run it by the team? You can run it by the league. You can say to the league, hey, I'm taking this. I still think that the league needs to come out with their own products. Like, these are our products. If you want to use these kind of products, you can sign up and use the NFL products, right? Everybody in NASCAR uses the same gasoline.
There you go.
Right? So if you're the NFL, come out with your own product line here. Hey, anything to help the bottom line for those NFL owners. But DeAndre Hopkins, at this stage in your career, and you're a Hall of Fame career, a Hall of Fame caliber career, is this going to hurt you? I don't know. Maybe. But is this a one-timer? Or he had been doing it and just got caught? And this is back in November. And when people go, well, could it really help a wide receiver? These are probably the same people that said to me years ago when I said, look, there are golfers who are using steroids. They're like, how could that help you? Yes. I mean, some people have a hard time putting on weight. So why wouldn't a golfer use it if a baseball player uses it? I get power. I get speed. I'm able to week in and week out recover. Sure. HGH. Yes. There's big money. I mean, you're talking a guy who makes $20 million a year. So he's going to lose 6 paychecks now. All right. You're going to lose that. You get embarrassed a little bit here, but there are guys still figuring out a way to circumvent the system because there's so much money at stake here. And it's not just the guy who's struggling to make the team. Here's a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver. But I don't know if you can do hey, I didn't know what I was putting in my body. Because we've heard that. And I would love to hear a player go, yeah, I used it. You got me. It's always, I'm shocked that I tested positive here. Yes, Paul.
But let's say you're DeAndre Hopkins, Dan, and you've had the same trainer for a while now, and your guy just fixes your shakes in the morning, then you run off to the facility or blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And, what if you say, hey, I got some new stuff. It's great. It's approved. It's good to go. Here's that shake. Cool, man. I'm running out to the car. Do you ask questions or do you trust the guy maybe that's been working for you for a while?
Is this something new that you're putting in my smoothie?
Yeah, the guy says I got some new stuff.
But if he says I got it approved,
it's good to go. It won't.
Okay, well then I would take it
without asking too many questions. If
he is putting his job on the line, then I'm going to trust him that this is his job and he says it's approved. Not one of those, oh, I forgot to tell you I put something in your smoothie and I don't know if it's going to, you're going to pee hot here and all of a sudden, you're going to get in trouble. Like you can't have that. Yeah, Paul.
I peed hot in college a couple of times. It was a totally different situation. All right, here's the poll question. You got to pick one of these three. No offense. DeAndre Hopkins accidentally took unapproved PEDs. One of his guys messed up.
Okay.
Knowingly took PEDs this one time and couldn't beat the test. Has knowingly been taking PEDs for years and finally screwed up the test.
Yeah, I'd like to have a little more information before I indict him or exonerate him. Maybe it was accidental, maybe. But I just can't imagine somebody taking something without going, I wonder. Hey, I got this at GNC. I wonder. Like if you get something and you're trying something and it's something different. Also, he tested positive back in November. Did he get when did he get injured? Because he missed the final 5 games, I believe. But I don't know, like that's a long time ago. And I don't know if you're trying something to come back from injury. And that's what players do. I mean, some use it as performance enhancing, but then you have others that, hey, I'm coming back from injury. I mean, Andy Pettit famously said, hey, I took steroids because I wanted to come back and help the team. Some people bought into that and go, yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, all right, Andy. Yeah. Yeah, Paul.
All right, here's another poll question.
Okay.
If DeAndre Hopkins does not get popped for PEDs, what team is Hollywood Brown on right now? Can you imagine that?
He wanted out of Baltimore.
What was it? Was there a big new market for him? They paid a lot. And I wonder if the Arizona Cardinals would have paid that much to get Hollywood Brown, a first-round pick, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't know they were down a receiver for more than a third of the season.
Maybe, but he did want out of Baltimore. That's been established. But I'm guessing that he and Kyler Murray had talked about this. I don't know if Kyler Murray goes, hey, you probably play your cards, pun intended. Bloop, 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 bloop. Thank you, Todd. And that you play your cards right. And we're losing D-Hop here, and I don't know. Yes,
couldn't they have found somebody else in the draft to drop 5 balls a game?
Wow. Wow.
Zing!
Wow. That's a shot. I was reminded when I said, he's a home run hitter, and then somebody said, yeah, why don't you do your homework there? I forget what they called me. I think he had 92 catches last year. Does that sound right for Hollywood Brown? So he's not a home run threat. He had 6 touchdowns, I guess. So what he's saying is he's not a home run threat.
Do your research.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Hey, talking hairdo. All right, my bad.
Do your own research.
What else do we have? What else do we have here today? Anything else that poll question was? You want to go with? I don't know if I want to do it. I don't like the wording that way. Accidentally took PEDs, knowingly took PEDs. I would just do those two.
How about DeAndre Hopkins? Cheater, unlucky. Those are your options. He's either a cheater or he's unlucky.
Yeah.
If you're a company like Indeed right now, you should call DeAndre Hopkins and be like, do you need help finding better support people around you? You need Indeed.
Trustworthy trainers. Wouldn't you love one of these athletes one day, instead of an Instagram post that said, I unknowingly did this, and say, the Instagram post was, hey, I took a shot. Like I took a shot. I was trying to get paid.
Or, man, I can't believe it took him this long to catch me.
I've been working this for years.
Yes, Todd.
And if you're going to take anything at all that could be even remotely out of the ordinary, reporters need 2 sources before they report something. Shouldn't they have a double check if that's even in place? Wouldn't you do that as an athlete just to make sure your reputation doesn't get tarnished?
What are you saying? That he needs to
have...
have...
I'm saying that before you take anything, maybe besides your trainer or whoever you think you trust, that 2 separate entities should go through it to make sure absolutely what you're putting in your body is safe.
I don't know DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know what his system is, his fail-safe, whatever it might be, but I would think one person whose job is to do this is enough. 2 sources is good in my business. One source in his business should be enough, I would think. Yeah, Paul.
I love that we critique athletes for not being careful. Before I put anything in my body, I would eat tacos in a food truck behind a Sunoco fuel place, a gas station, without checking the guy's name or what products he's putting in it. I'll eat anything, but
I'll have convenience store sushi.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It seemed like it said sell by. It's a couple days later. So what? No big deal.
I just love the wording of these things sometimes. Like, I'm very mindful of what I put in my body, and I've always taken a holistic approach.
Of course.
So I'm working with my team to investigate how this could have happened, but even as careful as I've been, clearly I wasn't careful enough. For that, I apologize.
Yeah, I'm going to guess somebody wrote that, and they said, hey, DeAndre, just give you a heads up. This is what you're going to say. Yeah, Paul.
Is there like holistic protein powder? Are there holistic PEDs, like legal ones? I'm kind of being serious here. Is there a more natural, like organic PEDs? That'd be a great market for someone.
I don't know if there's anabolic steroids that are holistic.
Yeah,
Well, what did Barry Bonds say? It was flaxseed oil, right? Wasn't that his thing?
Yeah.
He was like, "What? I just took flaxseed oil the whole time." Wasn't that a?
Yeah. But Barry Bonds trusted his trainer. Did he go, hey, you're rubbing something on me? What is that? Oh, it's the cream. Okay.
Who's your trainer? This known steroid dealer.
Yeah. The guy that's in prison.
Yeah.
The guy that went to prison. It's like, athletes who have a doctor, but the doctor is not licensed to perform in the United States.
Look, just because I have a chemist as my trainer doesn't mean that I'm doing steroids, okay?
Yeah, it's all in the wording. It's made with flaxseed oil. You ever see those like bad fast food places made with 100% real chicken? With.